Hey guys, I'm Naval Yamal. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video, we are going to see about how to pivot, unpivot, and use transpose in the Power Query. So first, let us go with the transpose, and then we'll go and proceed to what are pivot and unpivot. Before we go with the hands-on, let us see a small theory part of what is transpose. So transpose is nothing but like if you have rows and if you want to change to column, we use transpose there. So you have rows, and if you want to convert your rows to columns, we use transpose. For example, in Power BI or in any database, we use data in a column wise way. For example, it may be like column ID, employee ID, column employee name, column employee department. So this is your data. So your data will be in the column wise. Suppose if your data is in the row wise, let me take for example ID1 and for example Sachin and data analyst, for example second Virat, he might be a data scientist, and so on. So if this is the case, our query and Power BI also detects it as a column wise data, and it automatically detects the data type, that this is an integer type, this is a string type, this is also a string type. But if your data is in this way, for example ID, name, and employee department, so this is called as a column wise data. Okay, so if you have ID1 and your name is suppose Sachin and the department is DA, something like that. So this is a column wise data. So Power BI cannot detect this column wise records. So for that we need to change this column wise to a row wise. So that changing is nothing but we can do that with only few clicks, that is called as a transpose. Okay, so this is about the transpose. We will do hands-on now in Power Query. Now let us see what is pivot. So transpose is converting all rows. So this should be highlighted actually. All rows to column, we call it as a transpose. And when you call about pivot, so pivot is nothing but changing row into column is pivot. So if you want to change only this one row to a column, then we go for the pivot. And unpivot is opposite to pivot. Like if you want to change your column into row, then we go for unpivot. So what is the difference between transpose and pivot and unpivot is, if you do transpose, all your rows will be converted to column, or all your column converted to row, vice versa. But in pivot, only particular row is changed to column, and in unpivot, only a particular column, it may be 1 2 3 column, depending upon how many columns you select, it will change to row. So this is all theoretical. Let us apply that in a real time and check. So for that, let me take a data set which is having an example of transpose, pivot, and unpivot. I'll be sharing you the link of this. So this is a data set related to pivot, unpivot, and transpose. So let me upload these three examples of transpose, pivot, and unpivot. Let me click on transform data so that I can redirect to Power Query. Let us, hey, here you can see that your columns are now as a company A, B, C, D. Actually, this data is in the row wise. You can see this is your first row, this is your second row, this is your third row. Actually, we need these three in a column wise, like your first column should be company, second column should be employees, and your third column should be location. So for that, if you just go to transform and use a transformation called transpose, which will convert your column to a row wise. Before going to this, if I just look at what happened on the applied steps, automatically Power Query has detected the headers, which are absolutely wrong, and it has also changed the data type also. So if I just click on transpose, you can see we got only two columns. Where is the company column? The company column has been deleted because that was the header. So before applying the transpose, you need to take a utmost care that your headers should not be the first row. So you need to delete this promoted headers, so that now you can see we got three records here. Now this should be converted to a column wise. So if I click on transpose, you can see now we got a three columns. And if I just click on use first row as headers, now you can see that you got a neat table. Yeah. So you can see the source data here. So if you click on the source data and if you go to navigation, you can see here you got three records. Those were in a row wise, company, employees, location. Now we got that in a column wise. You can see this column wise. So this is how the transpose is used. Now let us see how you can use pivot. So let me go to this theoretical. I hope you understood like how the data is was in a row wise and we converted that to a column wise by just clicking with only one click using a transpose. Okay. Now let us see on pivot. So pivot is changing the row into column. So let us first see pivot, and unpivot is changing column into row. We have two examples here. Let us go with the example 2 here. Now you have some null records here all. So let me delete that null records. So I can just filter out that null. Now you can see this looks like a matrix. This is like a matrix. You have a company here which is having ABC company and having a months, 12 months, 24 months, 38 months, and you can see it may be a sale for company A. 12-month sale is this much. So let me connect to my whiteboard and explain you the example clearly. Let me take a screenshot. Yeah. So now you can see, yeah, this is your data. So actually my output should be, I cannot do reporting. So you can see you cannot create a report directly on this, or you cannot create any visuals on this, because Power Query or Power BI works on the column wise data. So it should be like this. So my output should be like this, or your data should be in this way. First you should have a company, and second column it should have a sales amount, and it should have a month column. Okay, it should have three columns. So first company, it should be A, B, C. Okay, three companies. Company A, your sales amount is 2342 for the month of 12 months. Okay, now is B is also 4537 as 24 months. So I'm just decoding your first row, this one. Okay, and company C is having a sales of 8756, and this is for, sorry, this is also for 12 months, this is also for 12 months. I hope you are getting. Now if you just decode, you may get three records for the 12 months, three records for the 24 months, three records for the 38 months. So in total you will be getting 9 rows, like ABC, ABC, ABC for 12 months, for 24 months and for 36 months. 24 and 36. So this will be your entire table. So I want the output in this way. So here the data is in a matrix form. You can see this is in the matrix form. You have both rows also and you have the columns also like this. So we should get only the column wise. So for that we are going to use pivoting and unpivoting here. So let us go to Power Query now. Let us do some hands-on here. So what I want in the very first case, I want my company which is in the row wise. So this company is in the row wise. I want that in a column wise. So row to a column. So you can see, can you tell me row to a column? What shall I do? Row to a column. Yeah. So row to column. So let us go to pivot. I want to pivot only the first or the first record, that is company. So let me try first. Let me remove this. Let me remove the null values here from here. Yeah. Now I want to make this row as a column. So let me go and click on pivot column. So once I click on pivot column, okay guys, so what I'll do, so I'll just make this as headers. So you can what you can do here, so you have A, B, C, three companies here or three columns here. So I'll first convert these columns to a row. So these three columns to a row. So column into a row. So I'll use unpivot first. So I'll just select these three columns. I'm not using transpose here. Transpose will convert entire table from column to row or row to column, but I want only 1, 2 and 3. I'm just using control to select these three columns and just using pivot unpivot the columns, the selected columns. So just click on unpivot. That's it. Your three columns are converted to rows. Now you can see that you got a company, but there are different headers. So let me give here as a months, and this as my company, and this as my sales. This as my sales amount. So you can rearrange that. So first company, then sales, then months. You can rearrange and you got your 9 rows. You can see this 9 rows. So this is how you can use unpivot. So we got one more example, and now you can see the data here. So look similar to the second example, but here we have forecast and the sales. So let me show you this in my whiteboard and let us discuss more details here. So yeah, so now you can see this is also a matrix here, so which is having a row wise and column wise data. So if you just decode this, your output should be something like this in a column wise. So first you should get a company, obviously company, where you should get your company ABC in this way column wise, and then your second column should have a month. In that month you but here if you look carefully, we have 12 months, but one is forecast and one is sales. So we have a month column, and I should get a forecast column also, forecast column, and you should get a sales column. Like in the previous example with the unpivot, we got only one record. So which we have selected these three and clicked on unpivot. So if we select these three and click on unpivot, let us see what happens. But we want 4 columns here. Let us get back to our Power Query. Now let me select 1, 2, 3 and click on unpivot columns. Now you can see your column has been converted to the row wise. Now you can see you got 18 records. So 1, 2, 3, because you had the 12 months forecast 24 months forecast, then 12 months sales, 24 months sales, and so on. But I want this forecast and sales in a values in a column wise. So for that, okay, I'll just use a extraction and I'll remove out this forecast from this month. So for that, let me do the transformation and let me split the column. You can do it multiple ways. You can extract the few letters, or you can just use a split column. You can split the by delimiter by a space. So let me use a space and just click on OK. So you get 12 months and forecast and sales. So I don't think we need this column, month column. So, or you can just use this merge to merge these two. So you can delete this, remove, and I'll change this name to a month column. Okay. Now I want this column to a row wise, because I want company A forecast value in a row wise. You can see here, what does pivot means? So it is changing your rows into column. So we have rows like this. So we have forecast and sales. We want this forecast and sales into the columns. So from going from rows to column, we use pivot. So let me select this column and click on pivot. So once you click on pivot, it will ask you, hey, I'll pivot this or I'll convert this to columns, but based on which values. So that value should be your value column. So let me select this value column and click on OK. Now you can see this is your months, this is your company name, and this is your forecast value company. This is your forecast value and this is your sales value. So if you look at the output, we got the correct output. So four columns with 9 rows. So this was our raw data, and we have used unpivot and then pivot, and we got this as a final one. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this. So this is how we can use transpose, pivot, and unpivot in Power Query. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Keep learning.